Welcome back into the film room. I'm your host, Eric Turner, and in today's Cover One Film Room feature, we're going to take a look at the Bills' offense and show you the struggles they had against the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road in London. Well, it was pretty clear once the game started that the Bills' offense was flat, out of rhythm, out of sorts. As a team, they had 11 penalties for 109 yards. They had 2 3-and-outs to start the game. They had 5 drives that only lasted 4 plays. 7 of their first drives ended with 0 or only 1 first down. So I want to show you what happened on the field, what the Jags were doing to slow down the Bills' offense. Now, early on, it was the Bills' offense kind of shooting themselves in the foot and not getting on track, not staying ahead of schedule or ahead of the chains, and it led to some second and third and longs that they just couldn't convert. In order to convert those third and longs, you got to have protection. And the Jags knew when they got into 3rd and 7 or plus that they could scheme up some things that would give the Bills' offensive line and their pass protection trouble and Josh Allen trouble, and it really limited what the Bills could do on offense. It felt like it almost took the Bills too long to figure out what the Jags were doing to them. By the time they did, it was almost too late, and their defense started to break down and give up points and couldn't make stops late in the game because they were on the field for too long. This is not the complementary football that you want to see when you're talking just on the offensive side of the ball, the run and the pass game, but also the offense and defense. It just was not complementary. It became one-dimensional on offense, and it caused the Bills to really struggle overall. So without further ado, let's jump into some of this film from the Bills-Jags game in London. It didn't take long to figure out that the Bills' offense was going to struggle, especially early on. They go to empty here. James Cook is out wide to the bottom of the screen. Josh sees that it's man coverage. The linebackers traveling with him. This is the exact coverage that they want to get. Josh sets the protection, and all they're doing is setting a little rub for Cook. So Davis is going to curl it up here, and you've seen this play. They've run it with Beasley back in the day. They've run it with Cook a couple weeks ago. Pretty easy man coverage beater. James Cook on a linebacker with a little rub right there. But the pass is a little hot, a little outside, but 2 hands on the ball by James Cook. You expect him to catch this. He's a better receiver than this. He drops it, and the Bills have to punt. After a 1-yard loss by James Cook on first down, the Bills face a 2nd and 11 call here. The Jags show pressure, but only bring 4 on a nice simulated pressure. Josh throws hot, and Dawson gets wrapped up quite quickly. So this is a win. This is a 5-yard gain for the Bills offense, and it sets up a manageable 3rd down. But the Jags did a great job of funneling the ball and forcing the ball to go to the hot receiver, Dawson Knox. Right here, you see Josh Allen pointing out this defender right here. That means they're throwing hot off him. So if that guy comes, Josh has to throw it hot. And he and Knox are on the same page. But this is only a 4-man rush. The problem is the protection was set to the linebacker right here. So that means that Morris is initially on the snap checking to him, but you see he drops out. So does Josh Allen to the top. So now these 3 blockers are only accounting for 1 guy. And now the Jags have a 3-on-2 to the bottom of the screen. So Torrance picks up the D tackle, Brown picks up the edge rusher, and now you have that free rusher. Bills do this all the time, sim and creeper pressures. Josh and Knox are on the same page. He checks it down, and you get a really nice tackle from Campbell. But again, the pass is quick. Throws it underneath. The corner is so far off, he can just let that play develop quickly, play high to low, come down, and make the tackle. Onto the second 3rd down of this game, 3rd and 6 situation. Bills come out in a quad set to the top of the screen just to identify the coverage. Defense shows that they're going to be playing zone coverage, so Josh settles in the offense into a 3-by-1 set. And what they're trying to do here is run their sail concept, a nice 3-level passing concept with a clearing route by Diggs. He's going to run like a deep corner route. Then you're going to have Knox running the sail route. You see the Chiefs run this a bunch with Kelsey, and then a diagonal route by Kincaid to the flats. Obviously, Josh is reading high to low on 3rd and 6 here. But he kind of runs out of time. And the route by Knox, that sail route, isn't allowed to develop. So he checks it down. He gets it to Kincaid. Kincaid does a great job of getting his body in position to get some yards after the catch. And I thought he got the first, but apparently he didn't. So let's look at it from the end zone angle and show you why Josh had to get rid of it. Because I think that sail route probably develops for Knox if the pressure isn't on Josh Allen. But the Jags did a great job all day of attacking Allen's spot in the pocket. So Josh Allen, the edge defender, is out here wide. Walker's out wide here. So you're going to see Allen, the edge rusher, go speed to power and collapse that pocket. So the width of the pocket is compromised here and right in Josh Allen's face. But what I really like from the Jags is on the other side, the exit stunt right here. So you see Walker out wide. He dives inside. And then the D tackle swings around outside. So watch Torrance. Walker splits both Brown and Torrance on this play with nice power. And again, he's attacking Allen's spot in the pocket. So Josh had to get rid of it. So as you can see, the route by Knox isn't able to even break to the boundary like you expect. He's not able to get into the route, and Josh has to check it down. But I thought he got it, but apparently he didn't. On to the third down of this game, top of the second quarter. A 3rd and 3 call here from Dorsey and the Bills offense. That goes incomplete to Dawson Knox, but this play probably pisses me off more than any play in this game from top to bottom. Maybe it's the execution. Maybe it's the play design. Maybe the guys are just freestyling on the field. Either way, I hate it. So I want you to watch Knox right here. He's running the sit route over the ball, right near the logo. But for some reason, again, I don't know if this is designed this way or if the players came up with this on the field. He is trying to set a rub on the defender that's covering Davis, when typically that's going to come from the other receiver. Usually that mesh concept, if it is man coverage, is getting picked off as these two receivers come across the middle. So this is important because it screws up the entire play. Because if the play is within the structure, Knox is probably sitting right here and Josh has an outlet. And he's probably open. But because of the timing of this play being off, and because this running back is for some reason running out here when typically he runs some type of swing route and then rail route up the sideline as the first read. But for some reason, again, I don't know if it's the players or if it was the design by Dorsey, he's running over the middle. So watch this play. There's 4 guys in the middle of the field right here on 3rd and 3 on a mesh concept, one of the most basic concepts, a concept they run and they ran several times in this game. So I don't know if this is Dorsey or the guys on the field making these calls, but this is just terrible. Terrible spacing, a terrible idea by Knox. Again, I don't know who designed it, but either way, it puts Josh in a bind because now he's holding on to the ball. The play concept never develops. He's running around, and he does eventually get it to Knox, but it goes incomplete. He drops it. Here it is from the end zone angle. Just watch the timing of this play. It's taking forever to develop. If Knox just gets into his route, I imagine the linebackers at the second level are clearing out, and he's probably sitting right on the numbers, and Josh is within structure, within the normal rhythm and timing of this play. But everything's thrown off. The running back going into that route right next to Diggs makes 0 sense. I don't know whose fault it's there. But this is the type of stuff that was going on, especially in the first half, that led to the Bills coming out flat. And they just weren't in rhythm. Nothing was on point. The timing was off, and plays like this happened. Second drive of the second quarter. A drive that started off pretty good. Bills in 12 personnel, Josh under center, motion from Kincaid, attach him to the formation. That brings the safety down, and you're running play action from under center with Josh. You're getting one-on-ones on the outside with Diggs and Davis, and you get a 15-yard strike from Allen to Diggs. And this is where I think the Bills are going to have to augment their offense. Yes, they need to run play action more from under center, especially because that's where Josh has been money. And that's because when you add 2 tight ends attached to the formation with Josh under center, the defense has to bring that safety down. So now you have 8 men in the box because they're worried about the run. But more importantly, you get that single high look and those one-on-ones on the outside. And I think for this offense to take that next step, they not only have to run play action from under center more, but they need to augment this offense with more straight dropbacks from under center for Josh Allen to not only get these looks on play action, but from the dropback game. But they also need to add some more runs from under center because they're much better running the ball from under center than shotgun. So after that 15-yard gain from Diggs and then a 9-yard gain from Davis on the next first down, the Bills are faced with a 2nd and 1 situation here. They try running essentially a crack toss here to Cook from a shotgun look, and it's just blown up by Jenkins. And I say this is a good play by Jenkins. He just reads it. He's unaccounted for because these guys are all getting out in front. So it's a good play by him. But when I talk about the Bills being a better run offense from under center, listen to these stats. When the Bills run the ball, the running backs only, from gun, they average 3.7 yards per attempt. That's 21st overall among the league. When they go under center and run their under center run game, they average 5.8 yards per rush. That's third overall. So that's what I mean. Was this a bad call? No, 2nd and 1, trying to get your speed guy in the perimeter. It's not a bad call. But that's what I mean. They need to augment their run game. They don't always have to attack the perimeter from shotgun. Get Josh under center. Get the backs behind him on the dot. Guys like Cook, Murray, and Harris from the dot, coming downhill, one cutting and getting north, instead of always trying to attack the perimeter from gun. So with that loss by Cook, now the Bills are faced with a 3rd and 7, 3rd and long. And the Jags heat Josh Allen up. They force him to check it down quickly, throw it hot to Murray on this play. Here comes Campbell, down from depth to make the tackle on Murray. Now, getting the ball quickly to Murray has worked the last few weeks, especially when teams were blitzing. Getting it to him quickly, he's caught people off guard with his run after catch ability here. But this is just a great tackle by Campbell with the Jags heating up Josh Allen. They're running that sail concept again, trying to get the ball down the field on 3rd and long. But because of the extra guys that the Jags are bringing, Josh has to throw it hot. The running back's hot. He gets it to him, and it's just a better play by Campbell and the Jags defense. You're forcing the throw quickly on 3rd and 7. You're making the Bills have to get yards after the catch, and Murray's not able to on this play. So a quick look from the end zone angle. There's Josh pointing out who the offensive line is going to work to. So watch what happens. They're showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys up near the line of scrimmage, on the line of scrimmage. They're obviously bringing pressure. Josh points out who the offensive line's working to. So what do? They work to 23. So Morse is sliding right here. Well, that guy, just like the Dolphins love to do, he pops out to the strong side of the passing formation. And so that means with everyone kicking down a guy, now the Jags have 2 rushers off the edge, unaccounted for. Josh has to throw it hot, and just one hell of a tackle by Campbell. We are in the second quarter, 5:44 on the clock. This is the 3rd down play, 3rd and 6 play by the Bills on the second to last drive going into halftime. This was a scoring drive. This is when the Bills started rolling. And this play design is nothing special. This is just a big throw from Josh Allen from the right hash to outside the numbers. Short motion by Hardy towards Gabe Davis, moving some guys around, aligning them differently. He pushes vertically, and as soon as that DB opens up, he crosses his face. Nice chop down of the arms, creates that separation on the speed cut, and Josh with a big throw to get the chains moving. So after that big gain on 3rd down, the Bills go back under center. They run play action. They call their flood or sail concept. Josh doesn't like what he sees to the top of the screen, so he checks it down, and that allows Cook to get 18 yards. Simple play, right? Under center, play action. Josh probably could have hit Kincaid in the flats right here and let him work versus the linebacker. But either way, he checks it down. Again, get it to your playmakers underneath. There was stuff underneath all day. And here, Allen took advantage of it, and the Bills get 18 yards. All right, the Bills are rolling now. They just converted a 3rd and 1 with a naked bootleg run from Josh Allen. This is a 3rd and 4 situation. They motion Diggs, and they run mesh again. So you have the crossing routes by Diggs and Knox, the sit route by Kincaid, the rail or wheel route by Cook, who's typically the first read here. But you can see Josh is looking to the bottom of the screen to Davis, who has leverage on this speed out to the bottom of the screen. He likes the leverage that the DB is playing with. He knows that he has Davis on that speed cut. And once again, he locks onto him from the far hash, the right hash, big throw outside the numbers to the other boundary. Nice catch from Davis, and the Bills are moving the chains. So Josh didn't even go through his progressions on this one. Normally, it would start to this side of the field to Cook, but because of the leverage of the defense and the one-on-one he got outside, he took the big throw to Davis, and it was an easy one for him. This is routine for Josh, and the Bills move the chains on 3rd down. So on the very next play, the Bills finally capitalized with a touchdown to Stephon Diggs. One hell of a throw by Allen. Great job by Diggs at avoiding the jam by Campbell and getting that separation. And this is essentially an all-go special. All 4 eligibles are running vertical routes. And with the Jags, essentially in cover 3, rip Liz, which based on the route distribution ends up being man coverage. You get one-on-ones across the board. So there's not much creativity to this play. What I do like about Kincaid is he attacks the outside shoulder of this defender and then cuts inside. So that keeps him out of the picture, and Diggs with a true one-on-one, there's no way this safety is getting over the top, especially with this velocity on this throw. But good work by the Bills offense late in the first half of getting things on track, moving the ball, finding the matchups, and Josh throwing one hell of a throw from the 22-yard line to about 4 yards deep into the end zone for the touchdown. First play out of halftime, Bills get the ball. They get a 14-yard gain to Diggs and then come back to the run game here, and it's blown up by the Jags. The Jags, they adjusted. So they saw this play several times in the first half. The Bills bring Shakir over on the check with me call. They're trying to run duo, which essentially gets the running back to bounce, and usually it's a one-on-one with the corner. But watch Walker as the ball is snapped. You see him bump inside right there, and he muddies things up. And he occupies basically 2 blockers when typically Shakir is getting the safety and you're getting that one-on-one with the corner. Well, it's blown up, so now you have 2 unblocked Jags defenders. Cook has nowhere to go, and it's shut down. And I will say the Bills on these check with me calls actually had a couple nice play designs in the run game from shotgun dialed up. Here's the first play of the game. See the check with me call, that alert by Josh Allen, brings Shakir over. Here, they run dart with Dawkins pulling to the right side of the formation. Cook gets upside. That's a 5-yard gain. Top of the second quarter. Here's a check with me call. They bring Shakir over. They run that duo call. Harris gets downhill, gets a few yards, keeping the offense on track. Here's later in the second quarter. This time with Murray. Here comes Shakir across the formation. They want to attack this gap between Brown and Knox. They run duo. They get a few yards here. Again, just staying on track. But it was pretty obvious in the second half, these check with me calls were sniffed out. Because as soon as Shakir came over, you see Walker bump over. And then you see Jenkins come down. This play was dead from the start. And the Bills couldn't adjust. So after no gain on first down, 2nd and 10, Jags send pressure. They send 5 rushers at Josh Allen, speeding him up. Josh sees it from a mile away. He hits Davis on the in-breaking route. But the pass is hot, it's high, and it goes incomplete. The Jags did a great job of sending pressure at Josh, speeding him up, dropping guys out underneath. Most of the routes and throws were outside the numbers, not to the middle of the field. And this one was just too high, too hot for Davis to reel in. And now the Bills are faced with 3rd down. To the next play, 3rd and 10. The Jags, once again, heat up Josh Allen. On 3rd and long, you need protection to push the ball down the field. The Bills don't get it. The Jags send a rusher off the edge from depth here. They send a DB off the edge here. There's a nice twist that you'll see from the end zone angle to get Josh off the spot. He scrambled to his right. There's no one open. The only guy that really comes open within the structure of the play is the safety valve Kincaid out here. But once again, the pressure's coming from the left side of the field here, so he starts rolling to his right. There's just nowhere to go with the ball, and Josh throws it away. So kudos to the Jags staff here. And their defense, they executed quite well when they were pressuring Josh Allen or sending blitzes. Again, here comes the late rusher from depth. You get a rusher off of this edge, and then that nice twist inside by Walker gets Josh off the spot. And now Josh has nowhere to escape, and he has nowhere to go with the ball. That's why those early down struggles really hurt the Bills. You can't be in 3rd and long and allow the defense to scheme up these type of zone pressures, because it allowed the Jags to dictate the game. So on the next drive in the 3rd quarter, the Bills bring out 21 personnel. So 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 2-by-2 formation. They get Josh under center. They run play action, go figure. They get a big play for 48 yards to Stephon Diggs. And I think Josh underthrew this one. If he leads Diggs, this is a touchdown. But I love this call. Under center, play action, big play down the field, right? So you're getting a Dino post from Diggs. He's going to get vertical, lean into that guy, get to the post. Basically a sail route by Knox. We've seen that a few times. Backside dig from Davis. Big fake, big throw. And I think Josh, at this point right here, he sees this safety driving on the route by Knox. So he pump fakes that way to hold these guys to Knox's route and to open up Diggs. A little pressure in his face, so maybe that's why he couldn't throw as flat with as much velocity as he wanted to. And you can see his base is kind of wide at this point after that pump fake, so he doesn't get everything on it. Not much legs in this throw. This is mostly arms with that base being as it is. And he underthrows it to Diggs, who probably would have had a touchdown on this play. Here it is from the end zone angle. Play action fake. Josh with that little pump fake, and you can see as he's sliding, he has a little pressure in his face, but his base is wide. He's not really able to hitch and step up into this because there's no legs on this throw. But I know in the presser he said he just didn't want to miss Diggs on this, so he did get it to him, but this is probably 6 points if he can throw it flatter with a little more velocity down the field. So after no gain on first down on a swing pass to Cook, the Bills come out on 2nd and 10. And Josh checks to this play. It's a 2-by-2 formation. It's their Haas concept. It's a seam by Dalton Kincaid to the bottom with a stop route from Davis. And the Bills love to run this versus single high looks, and that's what they get here. You get seam route here, just a stop route near the sticks by Davis. A little pressure up the middle on this creeper pressure here because Cook misses the block. So late in the play, Josh rifles it to Davis. It's a tough catch here based on the velocity, but Davis has got to have it. This was a big drop here. Only a second drop this season, but this was a big one. It was a good play call. Bills were in rhythm after that big play from Diggs. But this drop right here was pretty crucial. So after that big drop on 2nd and 10, the Bills are now faced with 3rd and long. And I like this passing concept. It's the wave concept. But because of the pressure dialed up by the Jags, it leads to this incompletion. It leads to a holding call. But as I said, I like this concept. So you have the deep crossing routes right there. And you have a big post on the backside. Remember that route later on, run by Diggs later on in the play. Diggs is running a route over the middle and then just an outlet route by Murray. But because of the pressure that's schemed up, the Jags once again know the protection really well. They get a free rusher on Josh Allen. Allen escapes, tries making a play. It goes incomplete. There's a holding call on McGovern. It's just all bad from top to bottom. So prior to the snap, let's look at what the Jags do. So Morse sets the protection. He's pointing out the linebacker. You see several guys near the line of scrimmage. That's important because post-snap, they put the Bills' protection in a bind here. So now Morse is watching that linebacker. He drops out. But now everyone's going this way. It puts Dawkins in a bind. Is he going to stay out wide with Allen, or is he going to squeeze inside? He has to squeeze inside. So that leaves the edge rusher, Josh Allen, all alone. Now, typically, as you've seen, Josh is going to hit Murray quickly. And he probably has room ahead of him if he does that here. But he saw what happened earlier in the game. He steps up and gets away from Josh Allen. But as I said, there's the hold on McGovern. And he's trying to make a pass down the field. It's a little high, and Knox can't bring it in. Just rough sledding on 3rd and longs. You can't get in the 3rd and long consistently in the NFL because it allows defenses to dictate. It allows them to attack protections to get these free rushers against the offense. And you're trying to make big plays down the field because it's 3rd and long, and it's just a rough way to live when you're talking about play in and play out in the NFL. But as I said, remember this route here by Davis and how this corner jumps the route by the crosser, leaving big plays on the backside later in the game. On to the first drive of the 4th quarter. Bills bring in heavy personnel, 3 tight ends. They put Josh Allen under center. What do you think's coming? Play action. Steps up in the pocket. Kincaid wide open over the middle of the field, an area of the field they haven't really attacked much in the last couple weeks. The Bills had 275 yards on first down. So there weren't too many struggles early on or on early downs. And that's because a lot of those plays came with Josh Allen under center, but more specifically, running play action. As I said, something the Bills definitely have to lean into more. 3 plays later, the Bills are now on 3rd and 15, thanks to a holding call by Deion Dawkins. So now 3rd and long, once again. They dial up that wave concept. And instead of Davis running the backside post, Diggs is running the backside post, and he's open. Josh slightly underthrows it, and it's intercepted. Not a big deal with it being 3rd and 15. It's essentially an arm punt. But I just love this concept. Over routes, and then that big post on the backside. This time, it's run by Diggs. That corner jumps that over route. This guy's jumping this other crossing route. And you have all this space on the backside. You just wish Josh could have set and throw this a little bit better, especially out in front of Diggs, because this defender is trying to undercut it. So if he throws it out ahead of him, I think this is another touchdown. But kudos to Josh, because he actually moved in the pocket really well with guys barreling down on him. Watch Josh Allen, the edge rusher, loop inside, and Josh just slides, steps up, and then under dress, throws it down the field. And it's just one hell of a play from that defender in trail technique. Diggs had him beat over the top. The ball's slightly underthrown, and it's intercepted. So on the next drive, they put together a 9-play, 81-yard touchdown drive. Here they are moving down the field, and they started to pick up on what the Jags were trying to do. Diggs is to the top of the screen right here, and you can see they're paying attention to him. So he gets bracketed. That leaves Shakir one-on-one with the slot corner on an option route or a choice route, and he catches it and gets upfield right to the sticks. So good read by Josh Allen, nice and quick, understands how the defense is bracketing Diggs, gets to Shakir quickly in rhythm, and they're able to nearly move the chains. 2nd and 15 here, empty set, Jags in man coverage. Josh is in tune to what the Jags are doing. He steps up, shows off that anticipation, and hits Davis again in back-to-back plays for touchdowns. Watch what the Jags are doing on the back end here. So you get a switch release from Davis. He's number 1, gets vertical, and then gets to the corner. Diggs is running the man coverage beater on this, so he's coming in behind the wide receiver in Davis, then coming back over the middle. Now I want you to watch how that affects the deep safety right here. He keys in on Diggs, and that occupies him, so he can't help out Davis on the back end. Josh steps up in the pocket, which is huge on this play. And then once again, look at him release it, and where Davis is looking. He's looking out over the outside shoulder. Allen throws it to the inside shoulder. Davis throws that guy by, adjusts, and catches it for the touchdown. And this rush by the Jags is really good. So Josh Allen, the edge rusher, he darts inside right here. So he's attacking the spot in the pocket of Josh Allen. He's the low rusher. The high rusher is Walker. So as Josh Allen gets off his spot right there, the Jags are expecting Josh to kind of loop out this way. So then you have that high side rusher to help. Josh steps up into the pocket, gets his eyes back downfield, and hits Davis for the touchdown. So you can see the Bills and their offense started to pick up on what the Jags were doing. It was just late in the game, almost too late, when their defense was tired, and then they started giving up big plays, and the Bills weren't able to crawl out of that hole that they dug early in the game. Thanks for tuning into that breakdown of Bills-Jags. I think it's fair to say that the travel situation played a factor in this game. To what degree, I couldn't tell you, but it was pretty apparent, especially on the offensive side of the ball, that the Bills' offense were out of rhythm, out of sorts, couldn't stay on schedule or ahead of the chains. They couldn't run the ball, which made them one-dimensional, and the Jags took advantage of it on those 2nd and 3rd and longs. They pressured Josh Allen. They attacked the pass protection schemes. They almost knew exactly what protection was coming and knew how to attack it with 4, 5, and sometimes 6-man pressures. This forced the Bills to struggle to sustain drives. When the offense started to roll, the defense started to fade. They were on the field for far too many plays, became tired, and that's when the dam kind of broke open and the game broke open and got out of hand. and there's just no way for the Bills offense to recover. It's not the complementary football that we've been preaching the last few weeks. I think what the Bills need to do is augment their under center game. And I'm not just talking play action. Yes, lean into that, run more play action from under center, but augment and add more pass dropbacks from under center, straight dropbacks, and the rush game. The running game from under center has been very good this year, averaging 5.8 yards per attempt, third overall in the league. You need to lean into that a little more with Cook, Murray, and Harris. Doing that will help the pass game, not just on the play action side of things, but it'll help the offensive line and the pass protections that you call, because it'll force the pass rushers to come up with a different pass rush plan. They won't be able to just tee off on Josh Allen and his spot in the pocket. They'll have to change some things. The offensive line will get on them quicker. So augmenting the pass game and run game from under center will do wonders for this offense. It'll open up things in the run and the pass game. If you like that breakdown, please subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment, smash that like button, tell your friends about what we got going on at Cover One. So until Wednesday night in the film room at 7 p.m. with Anthony I, I'm Eric Turner, owner of Cover One, host of the film room. We'll see you Wednesday.